best of one. Remember, guys, there is no second chance, no comeback. We saw it last week when it was a best of one. Teams can fall behind a little bit, but that is like once you start losing here, there is no putting your mind mentally to next game. If you drop, it's done. It's gone. One of these two teams' evening is going to finish before it's even begun. I wonder what we will see prioritized here in the draft phase. Ultrac Pass has a big macro element. Stuff like Sylvanas can be very impactful, very strong. As well as that, you can see things like Faustad and the Vikings get picked up a lot. For the more macro approaches, I'm seeing our faces have fantastic portals right now.
What's happened here? Why is this?
Oh no! Oh, team, I promise I'm not running stream. Hands off keyboard. It's not me.
I've got too many scenes in this setup.
I solo cast the draft while you fix. It's fine. I reckon that. Oh, it's course because delay. Hogger's gone. Look at that. Yeah, I can't see what's on stream at all, chat. I have like a 20-second delay, so if I look like an idiot, I find out half a minute later. That way, it's much more enjoyable for you guys.
Good evening, Kathy. Yes, welcome here to our Eggs Cup. Take a deep breath. This is in the Nexus Rumble, so we are looking at some serious gameplay here. A best of one, all cards on the line on Ultrac Pass is something that we very rarely see, Luca. And I think this is going to bring out perhaps some of the best gameplay we've ever seen on Ultrac Pass. Certainly that I've cast for a while.
I mean, you know, I believe that the more you sell it in draft, the more you have to facepalm in the game as one team accidentally forgot to pick a tank and then you watch them lose over 15 minutes. But maybe that won't happen to us today. I've been stung before, Chance. I've been stung before. So far, a lot of offlane pressure on the Bangs. Now, I know for a fact that the offlaner for KDEggents has some slightly strange backup picks when he can't get his hands on Blaze or Hogger on this map. We often see him favoring things like the Sonya, like even D.Va, because of their fast camp clear. It's a big priority for them in this draft. I'm not saying it will happen, but it might, you know? We might actually see a D.Va.
Yeah, and of
that's
course,
not impossible.
Team Cat Green, we've seen them play quite a few varied tanks as well. They might be pulling out some Mal'Ganis in crazy times tonight. But we are going to have a Sylvanas as that first pick. Very much 2023 meta there coming in here for Team Cat Green.
Yeah, no, Sylvanas on pass is so strong. She lets you rotate as a team or rotate by herself. She can be so impactful. And because the map is so big and the rotations are so long, it can be difficult to get in position to defend. And so that trait, when you do have the space, can buy so much value off of the building. But Johanna and Rhaegar are going to be the priorities on the other side. Whenever you have an open map, Johanna just gains so much prio. Because where Diablo and Nubarak might want chokes to land their engages, Bless Shield is going to kill anything it hits, no matter what structures are nearby.
Yeah, of course. Now they have to think about, do they want to pick up a tank? Do they want to pick up a healer? Both of these slots taken away here by the KDEggents. So it is up to Team Cat Green to try and think, is there something they really want to prioritize, or is there a DPS? They're going for that Mal'Ganis, as spoken about earlier, and it's going to be Greymane, leaving that support to maybe be banned away. Something like Lucio, obviously, is usually on the cards at these high-level games, but against Johanna, not always picked up as much, because that CC just isn't quite as consistent.
Yeah, some very early pickups here on the Assassin role. They are sacking a bit of flexibility, and I am a little bit worried that Johanna does shut down both Sylvanas and Greymane's dive relatively effectively, but they've got a lot of macro to trade for that, and obviously they've got something interesting coming in the back half of the draft. It's not impossible that they're seeing them set up for a more Vikings style, maybe something like a Murky, something slightly strange that's going to try and double support them or double soak them into a big late early game push and try and take a lead like that. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if I love it, but I think we're going to definitely see them try and get the Sylvan and the Greymane in the same lane, shoving it as hard as they can with HD Hearts Mal'Ganis in front. Junkrat and Anduin have been removed. I wonder if they want to show their off lane here. This could be a moment for double deeps and give Cratodar the ability to react to what could potentially be a very aggressive option for rotation. I'd love to see something like a Genji picked up here. It's actually going to be Samuro and Hanzo.
Yeah, that is damage coming out from KDEggents here. That is a hefty amount. Hanzo, of course, can put out plenty with the scatter arrow. Samura will be looking to get into that back line, but that's still yet to be chosen. There are some good options for flexibility here for Team Cat Green, especially as they have their healer still about. Brightwing still here to get a little polymorph off. There's still a few other CC options. And it's going to be Leoric and Whitemane. I like the Whitemane adaptation, but Leoric feels a little bit wrong into that Samuro. But still, you talked about it earlier, it is going to be very much pushing in one lane for a 4-man, and Leoric's going to be, well, as per usual, double soaking.
Yeah, Leo can E through the bush, through the slow pit on this map, which does help his double soak a bit. I think we might see Sonya coming out here for KDEggents. I'm not sure what else he could play that really obviously fits. He's going to be the Chen instead. They're going to give up the macro for a much more aggressive dive. I'm not sure I back that plan, but like, you know, it's a big engage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just crying in a lack of diva right now, Trent. I'm crying in a lack of diva.
Yeah, this is interesting, especially, you know, against Whitemane, who, you know, you often need CC against. They're trying to almost outlast them rather than put any CC out there other than Johanna. It's a tough one to do. Predictions are up and available, though, Luca. And for the blue team, it is going to be the KDEggents with No Scope Ninja on that Hanzo. Sammy plays on Samuro. KDEggents on the Chen. With Giblets on the Rhaegar. And Simply TC on the Johanna.
And on that red team, we have got Whitemane being played by Neves. Draco Click is Leoric. We're going to have HG Hard back on his Morganis. Reaver's playing Sylvanas, and Batgirl is on Greymane.
Yeah, so as
already,
expected.
Look at them go.
I think, I mean, I would have, in my head, I was thinking top lane as well. So it's great that I'm on the same wavelength as Team Cat Green, but Team KDEggents don't seem to be quite there either. Leoric here doing a great job slowing that rotation, and Hard here trying to make sure that people are put to sleep or CC'd. It's just a Samuro claim for the time being, and that is a whole turret up here in the top lane, Luca.
It's a nice start. For those of you at home who are wondering, the top lane is a closer rotation for their own push camp in mid, because they're going to have to do the camp instead of Leoric. They want to be pushing the lane that is closest to that camp to make that rotation a bit faster. Or they just picked it completely at random, and that's lucky. But we give some credit, you know? This is Eggs Cup. These aren't no fools. They aren't no chumps. They know where the camp is. They know they want to push it out.
These teams are playing for the glorious egg cups that I have now ordered from Amazon. I've ordered the ceramic pens. They will be made. They might be here in time for the actual grand finals on the 30th of November. But we are seeing the blue team already having a bit of prioritization on this camp. The red team now starting it, but they've got that Greymane and Whitemane. That should be enough damage to equalize up what the blue team have been doing themselves.
Yeah, no, definitely. They've got so much pressure already in that top lane, though, the red team. The towers are falling. The wall has gone completely. We do see that Leo has ended up stuck in a lane against the Samura, though, and that does just feel like an odd pickup. Hopefully, we'll see a lot of value from the Entomb later in the game to explain that choice, because it's definitely a losing lane for Leoric.
Yeah, it does feel like they wanted to do some sort of double soak while the four people pushed, like almost like it was Tomb of the Spider Queen, and they sent Leo top mid while they tried to push bot. But we just aren't seeing that same sort of pressure. Sylvanas is getting a little bit here and there, and KDEggents having to clear out these big waves without the assistance of a second tower in this top lane. And, well, Hard is now chasing down Simply TC, who does indeed get the condemn off, will be trying to get out of here. I don't know that they've got Iron Skin available, but they did not need it whatsoever.
Iron Skin was up, just being a little bit greedy, trying to see if he could get someone to overcommit on him there. Very nicely done. I think often you see Johanna push that panic button very early, but when you've got faith in your healer, when you know they've got that option available to cleanse you, you don't have to commit too early. You can wait, you can see, am I going to get saved here? Am I going to get, you know, my opponents to dive a little bit too deep and maybe lose this trade slightly harder than they otherwise would?
Yeah, Sylvanas now coming down to the bot lane, maybe trying to take out one of these towers. Now, a lot of people wonder, why do Sylvanas teams try and snipe these towers? Or Samo is trying to get the damage onto Drowclick. Yeah, the reason why they snipe the towers is not for the XP. It is purely to stop there being an additional tower to help clear the minion wave. And with that, of course, they can get additional pressure on the other one and slowly snowball that bottom lane. It is not all about the 150 XP, I think, that they give.
Well, you speak for yourself. I'm always in it for the XP, but no, you're right. Taking away the DPS of that waveler is so important. Towers, a full wall clears a wave so much faster than a fort can, and just generally is a much easier defensive setup. So when you can take the wall down initially, forts fall a lot faster under wave pressure than towers do. So they're just trying to get that started, give the wave the chance to absolutely scam some tower buildings away.
Yeah, we are having our first objective being channeled here by the blue team. But Giblets and Simply TC aren't going to be able to get away with it. Neves is able to poke them away, but one of the jailers has been taken down. So that might be an easier objective later for the blue team. As we see Kratos down a little bit of danger up top here. It is just a Mal'Ganis and a white main. Chen staggering away. Should be absolutely fine.
No, he's going to be okay. The Chen is very, very difficult to take down without some sort of concerted CC. He's mobile, he's got a lot of health, and he's got the ability to basically reduce all damage coming in with the combination of his E and then a drink just a little bit later on down the line. As Reavers is still playing with Samu down in this bot lane, and they're doing quite a good job here between Sylvanas and Leo of making sure that the push pressure is there and that Samu doesn't have the control it wanted. I do think part of that, though, does come back to this Chen pickup. It means that they have to keep committing Hanzo and Rhaegar onto the easy camp. It means that once that happens, there's not enough macro elsewhere on the map that anyone ever has to leave Samuru alone. So they can always kind of give that additional babysitting with Sylv. I wonder, as the game goes on, if Samuru is going to get a little bit more space, and maybe we'll start to see the true value of that pick come out.
Well, we're going to see the value of Chen at level 10, I think. This the barrel will do a lot around the objectives, and should they want to confirm an objective, this barrel can do so much to disrupt and delay, and I would love to see Kratos do that. Of course, they can try and get picks, and disrupting white main with a barrel in her face is absolutely a key strategy that the blue team can employ here. We're very close to that level 10, and of course we know that Hard is most likely going to go for that that transference of HP. For the rest of the red
conversion.
Team, yes, thank you. I'm still a bit shell-shocked from rushing this out today. As level 10s are here.
You were still a bit shell-shocked from watching him pick Dark Conversion.
It's Carrion Swarm. It's Carrion Swarm. We're pleasantly surprised.
Oh, but it's not Arrow. It's the
Dragon Strike.
That's the one.
Chen comes in here, gets a little bit of a slow barrel off, but out comes the Entomb. Chen desperately is in trouble. Out comes the Dragon Strike, though, splitting this red team. Leo is still on the hunt for the Panda, as over here, Sylvanas does get the kill, does go down, but Greymane able to return, while Chen does indeed stagger to death from Leoric. It's a big old trade here, Luca, and the red team have just slightly come out ahead.
Yeah, very nicely done there. Chen got kind of isolated a bit early. He used his barrel, but a little bit greedy. He came back to see if there were seconds, and instantly the Entomb meant he was in a lot of danger. It was a nice plan from the Eggents to try and trade it into Sylvanas, but unfortunately they had to commit too deep in order to pick her off, and they were able to get a counter kill on that Sylvanas, needing a 2-for-1 overall in favor of Cat Green. But I don't think we'll see many fights go like that. A big Entomb, though, is going to catch the Hanzo, but Whitemane is being absolutely run down here by the Samuru. Mal'Ganis is a little bit deep into this fight. The barrel is up and ready again, and Leo does look to be a little bit deep by himself. Is he going to fall here? Whitemane's healing is absolutely immense, but she is now completely out of mana. She is going to need to her team to back up, but in all of the chaos, Reavers is like, I don't care about this team fight garbage. I'm running down to the bottom lane, and bottom fort will be the first tower to fall. Yeah,
really good work here by Reavers and the rest of the red team, of course, playing patiently enough and keep having a Whitemane keep them alive. This is a key point of Whitemane, and Seshal having to be used here. And equally, we see Dragon Strike that just doesn't connect with anyone, bar tickling Whitemane a little bit. But this is the engage we want to see. Blessed Shield comes out, Whitemane goes down. Great kill here for KDEggents.
think a lovely little zoning strike there. Whitemane didn't want to step into it, couldn't walk out because of it, and so she was able to be caught by the Johanna. And once Johanna gets the shield onto Whitemane, the team fight is never going to look good. So nice counter kill here, and we can see that the macro style that Cat Green is bringing is very fragile. While it's working, it looks incredibly strong. But they've given just one pick over here, and already it looks like they're not going to be able to recap this objective. Maybe they will, though. The Entomb comes in. Johanna is silenced. Going to get the cleanse for her D. The fight going in favor, though, of the Egents so far. They're trying to get this objective. The cap is down. It is going over to them. Can they leave without any deaths? Or better still, can they get kills? It looks like no one is going to die as everyone runs away. The bot lane is so pressured in, but this objective is going to relieve that pressure and let them start pushing the map out for themselves, Trans.
I say this bottom lane pushed in, but me, as DK coming in now, I'm saying this is just free XP, boosting them up to that level 13. But still, Giblet's in a little bit of trouble, as is Hanzo. They're going to have to clear out this big camp, but they are feeling absolutely fine having taken this objective.
Yeah, a nice 2-3 split here, and because of the bot lane pressure, they bought themselves a lot more time to react to it. Sylvanas is going to clean up top really easily. A really lovely use of possession there to draw the aggro of the objective away from her own forts, mean that they get more damage out. They're going to try and play for something here with the Dragon Strike. I love how they're opening with Dragon Strike here. They're saying if you stand in it, DK Shield will kill you, because the cooldown, like the wind up for Dragon Strike, it's way too slow. If you try and follow a shield, you're never going to get there in time. But by striking first, you basically go fishing. It's the equivalent of the Stitches hook ult. If it connects, something's definitely dead, and if not, you use the Dragon Strike, you go back, you come back a minute later.
Yeah, it is good. And you know, if they do find someone with it, and they just happen to be stood there, Blessed Shield can come out, stun them nicely. We do now see a little bit of pressure that has been relieved, but they didn't really get much with that objective. You know, we saw Sylvanas kiting it away in the top lane. Mid lane was defended by the rest, and, well, red side, they already had done a bit of damage, of course. This fort gone from the side of the blue team meant
They not know about this boss?
King's defense. Feels like they might have done, and it's all a bit too late, as it is going to be taken there. And the blue team now start here in the top lane. They do have Hanzo, of course, with a scatter arrow build. Let's show those talents for everybody at home. Leoric is going to be zoning out, but with Greymane and Sylvanas, they take this boss. Leoric stops their backing, and they've lost the keep.
Yeah, no, I think that this has been very well played by our red team. There was no meaningful contest for this boss. There's a keg that can come out, and so instead they're just saying, look, we're going to open up the keep wall. We've got Sylph. She's going to have her D. Well, she's used her D for the keep wall, but now there's a full health boss on a not very full health keep. The arrow is early, or the strike is early again. HG Hard has been slightly caught out by the chaos. Is going to have his... Oh, the shield isn't able to connect. The bounce not quite in time. The keep will go down, but the red team have to get out of here now. Although, with just a Samuro on them, there's nothing really trapping them.
Yeah, okay. All while that was happening, KDEggents did get a fort, but they lost the keep. You know, this boss is actually just going on core. They're going to leave it to regenerate the core HP afterwards, but it's still going to get a sizable amount through that core HP. There was a decent push here for the red team. They have level 16, a little bit of an advantage going into this objective, but not enough that they're going to try and force it out quickly. Boss in the top lane, it's going to get it. It is going to get it. That last strike, and Leoric's regretting not putting one more auto attack into it.
I do think Leo would have been better off coming straight down to try and save the mid lane, but maybe both were gone. I wasn't really watching cards on the table. Way more interested in that keep dropping. Leo has got a nice little angle here on the front line of the blue team. He's going to back away from it now, but the space created for the recap is big. And now the pressure is going to start to mount. You can see this 5-man rotation from Cat Green. They're going to try and take out this mid camp. A nice sleep is going to force the cleanse out. Shield in return, but the keg and the Dragon Strike do not have the synergy that would have been hoped for. Whitemane is going to get scammed by the keg. Really nicely done by Kratos, and that is going to be a kill. Ancestral is going to come out to save the Chen, and as Greymane goes down, this is a romp for the blue team. What a fantastic fight there. It looked for all the world like the keg had messed the engage up, but Kratos believed he found the angle, and Whitemane ended up signed, sealed, and delivered. Transparent.
Yeah, Luca, I talk a lot about chaos compositions, and sometimes you have the organized structure of a CC tank into a CC follow-up, and it's all about that single target blow-up. Everything is meticulously organized, but the blue team have the complete opposite. Complete chaos being spread here as Samuro auto-attacks whoever they can find, while Chen kegs around, making an absolute nuisance of themselves. KDEggents doing a great job there, finding the white main eventually, even though they were slightly healing them up while inside that range. But look at this, here comes the damage onto Reavers, and KDEggents tries to find the kill. Just a Q waits, boom. Kicked to there.
Not sure why Silver engaged there.
I think you sometimes underestimate the Chen, right? Especially this is
never
kick build.
underestimate the Chen.
This is flying leap build. So, you know.
The other build killed her faster.
Well, I'm just saying that, you know, there's you might expect what the other build might do, but suddenly you've got a flying leap Chen in your face. Leah's going to get out here in the bot lane. Blue team with a second objective here and a little bit of an advantage. They might be knocking out these semi-finalists in this best of one.
Yeah, they're going to really try and push this in. They should definitely be able to take out a keep of their choice. It looks like they're going for the bottom keep right now. Whether they'll get enough pressure on the other keeps is not clear yet. They'll definitely take out the keep walls, top of mid. I think they're not going to be able to level more than one structure here. So it'll be interesting to see how they defend it. Looks like the red team actually are going to try and hold this bottom with a lot more might, and so it might be top in the end that ends up in more danger. Greymane has made quick work of the mid lane. The Entomb, though, coming out on DK. We're going to try and counter it with the meme strike. It is going to catch a little bit, but not as much damage as they would have hoped. You can see that white mane ult on top of the Entomb is so impactful, and I might have to eat my words here. It looks like a successful rebuilding defense.
Well, yeah, Chen trying so much in the top lane, Luca. And with level 20 now here, the blue team can regroup and try and make something else happen. Bottom boss is 30 seconds away. Out comes the keg onto Sylvanas, but it's not going to quite connect her. Hard still trying to just disrupt. And this blue team, although they have level 20, although they have the opportunity, they are going to struggle to find that engage. Sylvanas maybe a bit far forward. Simply TC is going to be looking for that. Out comes the cleanse as well. Oh, but Blaster Shield is not up for another 20 seconds. I am mistaken.
Too much faith, too much belief, but that's okay. They are still going to be able to invade this hard camp, and that is truly a sign you're in a strong position. But Draco, he reckons, or Drowth reckons that Chen might be too deep. Just going to trade his Entomb for a Dragon Strike. But with Hanzo's 20, trading anything for a Dragon Strike is going to make Hanzo very happy. One decent Sky Scatter, he is going to get that right back, especially with that Pierce at level 16, which is going to give him so much cooldown reduction. And I don't know, they're going to go down and they're going to be able to get themselves to this bottom boss. Yeah. The top boss has spawned, so it should be a straight trade. But I think that this boss should net them a keep. DK has come up to scout this out on the Johanna. I'm not sure there's much he can do about it. He's
got a fort to return into like safety, so he's not in too much danger. Equally, the CC on the side of the red team isn't as great. You know, they also have some things. He's got Iron Skin. He's got to be able to do something. But blinds against the Greymane, pretty good. Of course, blue team are coming. It might not be quite in time as Drowkick is looking for that Entomb. Does manage to get it on there. But Chen is coming in, and the barrel play is there. Out comes the Ancestral, not quite connecting, but the boss is stolen. Chen trying to walk away now, but might lose their life in the process. Giblets unable to get that second Ancestral back in. After it did not go through, but Hard looking for the sleeping ultimate here onto the Hanzo. Will find it on Hanzo and Rhaegar. And this could well be a pressure onto the blue team.
Yeah, Rhaegar is going to pop the ads. It's not going to be enough, though. He is going to go down. The blue team have to be careful here. If too many people go down, the red team will start right-clicking their core, but they have two bosses pressuring. I think maybe this might have been too deep from Team Cat Green. They are going to lose both of their keeps in this play, but the blue team have caught them out. Are those bosses ending? I'm not convinced that they are. One is quite healthy. The blue team reckon that they are, but they aren't going to be able to get picks from that step up.
Yeah, I mean, there's minions
so well by Eggs.
Minion wave here on the bot lane hasn't quite done anything. Sammy Play, sorry, still in. We'll go back to this, trying to disrupt those backs. I am disappointed that this minion wave wasn't with the boss. It feels very strange that that's happened on the map. But this boss in the top lane is going to take away half of the HP of the score, but it's not ending the game. And that's a key thing here on Ultra Rank Pass, Luca.
Yeah, bosses do walk through minion waves, and so I think that we just sort of saw the minion wave come and clash with the other minion wave as the boss walked by. I think a little bit of a mistake there, though, definitely from Team Cat Green. Losing the boss sucked, but they, if they had just backed and defended, they might have lost one keep, whereas here, they traded a second keep that was functionally full health for a top 4. I don't think any of them on paper would have thought that was a good plan. They weren't able to continue to stagger. They weren't really able to buy themselves the tempo. And now we can see they're in a much more desperate position. But if they do win this fight, if they do get the objective up, one keep is down, a couple of picks will threaten the game for them. So they have to be respected, but time is not on their side. They're going to need to find an angle, or they're going to need to take a fight with someone clearing out the pressure.
Well, right now, 2 people are clearing out pressure. Craterdel's looking for something, maybe trying to find that flying kick into the keg, but Sylvanas has quickly joined the fight again. This is a 4v4. Leoric very nearby for the Reds. Samuro on his way from bot lane. Of course, that pressure very much equalized in the bot lane, but with the way that minions stack them automatic pass, it could be good. Shen has to pop the keg, feeling a little bit in danger, zoning away the rest of the red team as Leoric, gets caught out here, maybe going down, but it's a good entomb. Hanzo is silenced, maybe in danger as we see the huge ulti from Whitemane. Hanzo goes down, Shen looks to be next as they try and stagger this damage. The rest of the blues are retreating like crazy.
Reaver's there on the Sylph, hitting an absolutely fantastic arrow on top of the Entomb, catching the target and the Rhaegar, so there was no cleanse and no Ancestral available, and they are able to execute a pick, and I do think that is one of the weaknesses of this blue draft. Although they do have a lot of ability to dive on Chaos, if the red team can stay clean, if they can stay precise, there's not a lot of good safety for that backline.
Yeah, I think, red team here, of course, have got that 1 kill, but only 1. Blue team did a phenomenal job getting out. Samuro instantly putting the macro pressure on the bot lane. 2 keeps her down. Macro pressure is absolutely a viable way to end this game now. And I think with this objective going over to the red team, it's going to be a decent shot of coming straight back in, probably taking a keep, but maybe not being able to end the game just yet.
Oh, but Leo's not here. He's on his way. The red team have to be careful here. Or the blue team have to be careful here, though. They can't get caught out. They have to leave, and it looks like they are going to be able to. Samu on the Samu, just going to do a little bit of a distraction.
So scary. So scary. Leoric and Tomb come down on Samu there, and they may well be dead. But Hanzo's back. They've got a few things to go for. This big bottom wave is going to clear out the objective. No problemo for Blues. And it is up to the red team to decide where they want to go. And they're going mid lane right now, just trying to equalize the full pressure.
Yeah, they want to push with the earliest one, but the shield comes down. There is going to be follow-up, but a huge Entomb is going to make it hard to follow. The Whitemane ult not really connecting here. The Chaos has been generated, but so far, Chegg can't really get any value. Somehow, Drowneclick has ended up in a 1v1 with a Rhaegar. Not something Rhaegar will be looking forward to in the slightest. As the dust clears, Morgana still has his ult. We can still go for the throat, but that is all of the ult on the table. Over mind. Hanzo resets his ultimate and casts it almost immediately. Sylvanas is still waiting on her D. There's 20 seconds for that to come up, so she will not be able to use it on this keep with an objective. But it doesn't look like it's enough, does it, Chance?
No, out comes the second Dragon Strike in maybe 20 seconds. Who knows? HJ Hard here getting a good sleep. Someone once wrote an article that said, if you want to get better at HOTS, stop using abilities. Use them more mindfully. But at this point, with level 20 Hanzo, you can just let that rip almost whenever you like, especially in a defensive position when you're getting so many good scatter arrows.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. But the red team reckon they have an out. They're going to try and take this top boss, use Sylvanas, and just run it through to the core. They want to go through the top lane because it's going to generate...
We do have a little bit of a...
Okay, slight change in the plan. They got sniffed out, and they had to slow it down because Samu has been tactically not clearing the objective. So instead, they're going to go for Hannah. A really nice catch, forces the keg. Is it going to be enough to save her? It looks like it might be. The arrow has been committed, so they have to dive now. They do not have engage tools after this.
Whitemane might be in trouble. As we have the backline coming in from Samuro, but Greymane goes down right in the front. It's a good split here. That Chaos composition really working out, and it's a good kill for the Blues.
Samu arriving just in time there on that Samuru, able to put pressure Whitemane away from helping her Greymane, and now we are in full retreat. Jowclick is falling solo here on the Leoric. He is just about able to walk it out for now, but Whitemane goes down. The sleep is big, but it is not going to be enough. HJ Hard is buying as much time as he can, but I do not think time is going to matter. Samu does need to be careful here. Samuru does feel functionally immortal, but he's not truly immortal. 30 seconds left though on the Greymane, 45 on the Whitemane, and there is a boss being threatened. The red team are going to play their best outs. They're going to try and take this mid keep down, but I think they're going to have to back afterwards to defend. I don't think the defense is going to be realistic, Trans.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tough one. Trying to get this mid keep was a good attempt, but not quite executed it quick enough. Sylvanas is now going to be late in this defense. It is just a boss and some minion waves coming in. A big team fight for the red team could be a successful defense. Out comes the Blessed Shield though, the Dragon Strike as well. Sylvanas able to will of the Forsaken away, but this blue team actually, Rhaegar falls, but it's traded for the Sylvanas, a key element of the red team's defense.
Rhaegar running into the Entomb is going to get caught out, but Whitemane has now respawned. They need to get Batgirl on this boss straight away, and she is going to try and chunk that down, but it looks like a full retreat is here, and the blue team have held. Oh no, this game is going to go on even longer, and that mid keep is just about going to fall as well. Another potential ending play that is just going to see keeps full on the other side, and now the map is looking a lot more even. Either side is one set of picks away from losing their core, Transparent.
Yeah, I mean, the Greymane composition is absolutely brutal if it gets on your core, but then you've got Samuro with the Rhaegar on the other side of things. I think one of the things of this map is that Hanzo obviously has very few scatter arrow opportunities around the core. You know, there's no core to scatter them off. They just go straight through. No Scope Ninja, however, is going to be using that heroic just to zone out a little bit of pressure here. We have a huge minion wave in the bot lane, by the way, for the blue team. So they are going to be trying to zone away as long as they can and try and claim this objective, which equally doesn't guarantee a win, but absolutely gets them a little bit closer.
I do think whoever caps the objective here, so long as they don't have to sack anything for it, is in a great position to win now, though. They don't have to go through a keep to get to core. They can just pick an objective, pick a cavalry and march it up. Leo's going to start looking for the Entomb now, though. Samu has been able to get on top of Sylv, but Sylv is not Whitemane, and so she is going to have someone to try and save her. A huge Dragon Strike is going to try and remove the area for the blue team, for the red team, but it isn't going to be enough. The keg is going to be used to try and secure, but Chen cannot die for this. He is going to die for this. The Entomb comes down. He's drinking to try and stay alive, but it will not be enough. The objective falls, but the blue team must run. If they get caught out here, the game will end. Morganis isn't able to catch the sleep, but he still has his ult. Doesn't want to use it in case Joe gets the cancel just yet, but Johanna is looking mighty deep now, Transparent. The cavalry are arriving, but I do not think they're going to be enough to get any value, and the game marches on once more.
I talked about it earlier, Luca. That Chen keg, just for the delay, is a potential play you make on this map. Samu up in the top lane, though. Hard is here to try and get the disruption. Able to reveal Samu as well. Drowclick coming in, doesn't have Entomb for another 8 seconds, and Batgirl not quite able to get onto Samuro. And the red team are scattered. They have to try and do this mass defense. You know, the minions will start hitting onto the core.
On the top side.
Or simply TC here. Doesn't have the Blessed Shield for a little while. The suck does come onto them from Leoric, and now Samu's trying to get that auto attack, trying to do something. Out comes the zoning Dragon Strike, but the red team will be able to retreat this time, and they can defend on this core.
Yeah, they are going to hold their core, but I think this mid-keep is probably going to fall. 7k already, and with a relatively healthy cavalry hitting it, I don't think they are going to get that save. So a slight win here. The Chen keg proving worth in the end, but wow, that was so close to not being enough. And now we see the whole focus is on this bottom boss. We are 5v5. There is slight macro pressure for the red team, but or for the blue team. Without pods, it's not going to matter. But Morganis is going to get engaged on the shield. Is enough, but the Entomb is so big. It's going to catch Samuru. It's going to catch Rhaegar. Chen is running, but with the healer down, the red team are going to be able to play for this boss. Keg is 30 seconds away, and you can look already. The blue team are just trying to run at that core. They want to buy time, but I cannot see them ending before this boss annihilates their general. Drekthar currently smiling.
without the Samuro, they can't go for this backdoor. It is, you know, that is their core damage. That is the way they do it. Minions maybe can help, but this core is almost definitely going to go down. The KDEggents, it looked so great for them, but this is the power of Entomb. This is the power of Buried Alive. And with Greymane and Sylvanas, with a boss, the blue team are going to need a miracle to defend here.
They are going to have 5 people up by the time the boss gets there. So the blue team or the red team do have to be careful, but this sleep is going to connect. DK is going to be able to cleanse it on the Johanna a little bit early with that ultimate from Hard. They need to make sure now that they don't fall early and that they can protect and push with their boss. They want to not let Hanzo get big scatters. Oh, but into the shield is going to take 2 down. Oh, transparent. The counter picks are in. This boss isn't going to live long enough. Chen is going to get traded as he was playing with Draugr for a long
We have a race here. Minions on both sides. The core, the minions. The minions for the blue team, though, will take it. It's GG, well played. KDEggents take game number 1 of the series and go through to our semi-finals. Luca, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I've used the wrong... I even used the wrong transition there. KDEggents taking it through minion power and taking down a couple of key heroes here at the end.